Namaste. Welcome to the Soma Matha online Sangha. Join us in practice for inner peace, which brings clarity in life, improving health, relationships, success, and prosperity, and which prepares the mind for true meditation, which awakens intuitive knowing and spiritual sight. Each week we are announcing upcoming events and opportunities to participate in the activities of the Soma Matha organization based near Richmond, Virginia. Led by Swami Ganathamritananda, the Soma Matha is dedicated to spreading authentic teachings on spiritual yoga, mantra, meditation, Ayurveda, and other Vedic sciences for the peace of the world. We are working to build a temple for goddess Shakambhari Devi. Each week, we will be sharing a teaching from Swamiji, doing a group mantra practice and meditation, and conducting a simple puja, or prayer ceremony, for the goddess to humbly supplicate her to bestow her blessing upon the Sangha. A Sangha is a spiritual community who come together to support one another in their practice. Each individual gains strength in their practice from the collective effort of the group. Sangha feeds our practice. It nourishes us and empowers our efforts. It smooths and balances the challenges we face as it lifts our consciousness into subtler realms. Namaste. I'm Grant Ottinger. I've been studying with Swamiji for a few years, and he's asked me to lead the Sangha online because internet connection at the property is weak and live broadcast difficult. Swami will be watching the Sangha and participating in the group practices and sending video teachings for the group each week. To receive, we must give. Our efforts to provide this virtual space and publish the many free teachings available on the website, YouTube channel, and Facebook pages are dependent upon your support. We are encouraging all Sangha participants to formalize their connection by becoming Sangha members by pledging their monthly support through our Patreon. There are 5 different tiers of support, so you can contribute according to your ability. All Sangha members will receive access to additional teachings and opportunities for support in their practice offered through Patreon. If you want to deepen your practice and your connection to the Sangha, please visit our Patreon and pledge your support. The link is provided in the description of this video. Please help us to continue this service to humanity by deepening your spiritual connection and supporting our efforts in whatever ways you are able. In news, the estate sale of the property will be happening in a few weeks, and preparations are almost complete. If you're interested in purchasing any antiques or other items from the property, please watch for our post when the sale is live. We are still looking for volunteers to help with the property, to prepare it for sale, as well as to help us prepare the plans for transplant. If you are interested, please reach out to us via our website, somamatha.org, linked below. We are also continuing to raise funds to help with recurring bills of the property, as well as funds for purchasing a new property. Our goal of raising money to purchase a property suitable for public worship and Vedic ceremony is certainly possible, but may not be easy. Please visit our website at the Help Us Move page linked below to read more and donate. And now we will share a recorded teaching from Swamiji on Triti.
So today we'll be talking about the 6th of the yamas, which is Dhriti. Dhriti is steadiness. It means being resolute in our spiritual practice. Dhriti has other meanings as well. Dhriti could mean courage. That's an important meaning. Courage. Because we have to have courage to persist. We have to have great courage to persist in our spiritual practice. That's one reason that in yoga, they don't recommend that we start with the higher practices of yoga immediately, like the japa and meditation. These practices bring us in contact with the demons in our subconscious mind. And those can be very great seeming, very big, very alarming, shocking, and terrifying to people. We have to develop courage, and if we get bhakti, if we get devotion to God, if we do some pujas or some kirtan, some devotional singing, we start to have an experience of the divine. And with this experience, we can start to have some faith and some love of God that helps us to persist. It helps us to become resolute in our practice. Helps us to build dritti, steadiness. In our lives, we can practice it by not wavering in what we do. If we say we're going to do something, we should do it. And we said this also with the practice of satya, the practice of truth. If you say you are going to do something, to practice truth, you should do it. Even if you didn't mean to say that you would do that, or you didn't think it out properly. Even if you misspoke, maybe you should do it in the name of the practice of dritti and the practice of satya, both. If you start something, you should finish it, because dritti also means willpower, will. And we have to practice having willpower. There's a tendency for people to stop in their spiritual practice. When we start to make good progress, what happens? The ego comes up and creates excuses. And this is why a guru will watch out for someone who has come from another guru. I don't like this guru. This is a bad guru. These people, they guru hop. They go from one guru to the next guru to the next guru. And every time they start to make some progress in their practice, every time they come to something that's a little bit alarming within themselves, they turn away instinctively, because that instinct of the ego is too strong and their sense of dritti is too weak. And so they don't ever persist in the practice, and they don't make good progress, even with one mantra. You're practicing a mantra again and again, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And they may practice it for many months, many months, many months. And then all of a sudden, on the sacred time of Mahashivaratri or something, it becomes very powerful for them. And they tap into a lot within that they have trouble to face. So then they say, oh, well, I don't like this mantra anymore. I'll switch and do a different mantra. Om Mahalakshmi Namaha. Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundaye Viche. And these people are practice hopping. They're like the guru hoppers who, as soon as they start to make that progress, which challenges the ego overcomes them. And they go to another guru. They say, well, this guru is a bad guru, so I need to find another guru. This guru is no good. I saw this guru do that. Will you bring that dog? Let me try to steady her here in the video. There's a puppy, growing puppy, getting a little bit older, beyond puppy stage maybe. Okay, come here. Come here, puppy. Come here. Okay, lie down, be steady. Lie down, good girl, be steady. And so, good girl, stay. And so we've got to be patient. We've got to not get upset with the challenges. Of course, that's the instinct of the ego. The ego is not resolute. The ego is not steady. The ego is knocking things around like the dog knocks the camera. And so we've got to be very patient, very loving, very kind. And we calm the mind. We calm our tendency to waver so that we can become steady in our practice. Because when we see something that's challenging, it's not the nature of the ego to be courageous. It's not the nature of the ego to have faith. So it takes a lot of willpower and a lot of practice to become steady. And I've given the analogy before that if we have a well, or if we're trying to dig a well, we're trying to dig for water, we can dig in one place, and it doesn't matter where we are. We could be next to the ocean. We could be in a tall mountain. Okay, calm down. Good girl, calm. If we keep digging, eventually we'll get to water, but the tendency that some people have, they'll dig just a little bit. They dig 3 feet, 5 feet, and they'll say, there's no water here. I must be digging in the wrong place. And then they go to another place and they'll dig 3 feet, 2 feet. There's no water here, and they'll dig in another place. They never get to water that way. You've got to keep digging. In your sadhana, in your practice, you have to persist. With any mantra, you have to persist. And we've been talking recently about the concept of purascharanam, the empowerment of a mantra through repeating it, focusing on it for 40 days or more and saying it a certain number of times, 100,000 times or whatever. By doing this, we empower the mantra. We train ourselves to focus on the energy of the mantra so that when we say it then, we really invoke the power of the mantra. And it starts to have its effects. And so the more we do our practice, sometimes a little bit, the more difficult it becomes to do the practice because it starts to have its effect. The more time we spend with one spiritual teacher, the more it challenges our ego. And there will be a tendency for us to turn away. We've got to come to overcome that. And so we practice in our lives to be steady. If we start a job, we should finish the job. And we shouldn't always change what we want to do. If we have an objective, we shouldn't stop when it becomes difficult. We should keep going toward that. We shouldn't change our career path, our goals in life, our desires, what we want to do. We shouldn't start a job and quit the job. We should think, deliberate carefully before, and then accept a good job and stay in that position as long as we can. We should stay until we get fired, ideally. Same with the relationships. People leave the relationship as soon as there's a sign of difficulty, as soon as it challenges their ego. We should stay until the other person leaves us. This is the practice of dritti. And prayer to Lord Ganesh can help us. It gives us steadiness. He's very grounding by nature. We can pray to him on Tuesdays in particular is a day that's sacred to Lord Ganesh, and that will help us in our practice of dritti. But then we should be steady in what we do, in what we say, and we should persist. We shouldn't waver. We shouldn't change our mind. This is good if we can do this. We can stay focused in the things we do in our life, then we have better chance to stay focused in our spiritual practice. People always ask me, they say, I would like to empower my spiritual practice. What should I do? I've been doing this mantra every day for years. Should I do some other mantra? And I may say, well, you could. But they'll ask, well, should I do that instead of this one I've been doing? And I always say, no. Do the one that you've been doing. That's your basic practice. Keep doing it. Do it first, every day. And then if you have some extra time, then you could say some other mantras if you want, or you could do more of that one. We've got to keep doing the practices. We've got to stay with the teacher that we're with. There are some teachers that may be teaching without having wisdom. They may be teaching the wrong things. They may be leading people to increase their sense of materialism. They may say, chant, and you can get these things in the world. Chant this mantra for a promotion. Chant this mantra, you'll get whatever you want. And they make promises like this, or they'll say, I'll give you a blessing and you'll experience enlightenment. Or even they want the students to do immoral things with them, to do sexual tantras with them and things. If you've got a guru like this, maybe that guru's not challenging you spiritually. That guru is teaching you to be more discerning. But in many cases, when people are with a genuine, pure spiritual teacher, giving them practices that is challenging the ego, they will want to leave. There's very few people that have this steadiness. So this is a very important practice for us, dritti. To remain doing the practice, to remain happy to be doing the practice, to remain in the presence of the teacher, following the teachings, is very difficult, but it's very important if we want to have success in our practice. Just like it's important to keep digging if we want to get to water. If you stop digging, obviously you won't get to water. If you dig a few feet in one place, a few feet in one place, a few feet in one place, you'll just get holes all over your yard, but you'll never get to the water. And so we have to stop window shopping. We have to stop guru shopping. There's so many people, they look at the YouTube videos, they look at the photos and read the stories, and they read the books of the different gurus, and they read of the gurus in the past when there's living gurus here that they have encountered even. And they're not following the teachings. They're not seeking the blessings. They're window shopping. They're not going to ever buy anything. They're just window shopping. We need to stop window shopping. We need to just settle down into our practice and to become steady, to become calm. It just takes some effort. It just takes some willpower. With God's grace, with effort, in time, we can accomplish it. And so that's why this practice is so important. Om.
Thank you, Swami. Now, last week we finished our recitation of the Gayatri Mantra for Shakambhari Devi. And now, for our Japam practice, we will be doing the Devi Panchakshari. The Devi Panchakshari mantra is the 5-syllable mantra of the goddess. It is the same as the sacred Panchakshara mantra Om Namah Shivaya, with the addition of the Shakti Bij Hreem. It uplifts consciousness to the highest state of peace and bliss. It empowers our spiritual practices and grants liberation from all troubles. Though its literal meaning is Om, I bow to the goddess who empowers divine peace and consciousness, whose seed syllable is Hreem. True understanding of a mantra is in the spiritual experience it bestows to the seekers as it elevates their level of awareness through dedicated practice over time.
We will do 108 repetitions of the mantra. Om Hreem Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Hrim 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 Namah Shivaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Instructions for the meditation are to sit silently, spine straight, shoulders back and relaxed. Close the eyes. Allow yourself to see the inner light of the divine radiating from your heart. If you do not see it, feel it. If distracting thoughts or feelings come into the mind, allow them to be, witness them without hesitation, without judgment, and without analysis. Allow the light of the divine to heal them, bringing deep peace and wisdom. In light, all darkness vanishes. Practice sitting in the inner light, which is bright like 10 million suns. Let this light heal you. Invite that experience. Allow it to guide your consciousness and impel your actions for the highest good of the three realms. Om. Om. Puja is the traditional system of offerings, coupled with mantras and visualizations revealed by the sages to help people seek the assistance of divine beings in their lives and spiritual practice. Puja ceremonies can be simple, as in the case of the offerings made daily in the homes of millions of Hindus, or extremely complicated, as are the rituals of temple consecration, which require the participation of hundreds of devotees and dozens of well-trained priests. The oil lamps, fruits, flowers, water, herbal incense, and other offerings provide prana, or subtle nutrients, for the devas and other inner realm beings to send blessings to the physical realm. The sacred mantras open a channel to the inner realms. The effects of puja are powerful to bring about peace and healing. During puja, problems are mysteriously resolved, and answers to difficult questions arise spontaneously, by the grace of the many inner plane beings working to fulfill our prayer, empowered by the sacred mantras and offerings. We are conducting a simple Pancha Puja of 5 offerings. These offerings relate to the 5 elements, and they are Pushpa, a flower, which symbolizes the ether element, Gandha, sandalwood paste, connected to the earth element, Thupa, incense, symbolic of the air element, Deepa, light, symbolizing fire, and Naivedyam, food relating to water.
Om Adya Purvokta Evam Gunavisheshena Vishishtayam Asyam Shubhatithau Sri Soma Matha Sanghasya Asmakam Sah Kutumbhanam Kshemasthirya Virya Vijaya Ayura Roga Aiswaryanam Abhivriddhartham Shri Shakambhari Devi Prasada Siddhyartham Yatha Shaktya Shri Shakambhari Devi Pancha Pujam Karisye Om Apa Upasprisya Om Jata Veda Zezunavama Soma Marathi Hato Nidahati Vedaha Sanah Parshadati Durgani Vishvanaveva Sindhum Duritatiknihi Om Am Sham Shakambhari Devye Namaha Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Asmin Chitrapathe Sri Shakambhari Devim Avahayami Sthapayami Om Am Sham Shakambhari Devye Namaha Gandhan Dharayami Gandhasyopari Haridra Kumkumam Samarpayami Om Am Sham Shakambhari Devye Namaha Pushpam Pujayami Om Am Sham Shakambhari Devye Namaha Dhupam Agrapayami Om Am Sham Shakambhari Devye Namaha Deepam Darshayami Om Amritamastu Amritopastaranamasi Om Pranaya Swaha Om Apanaya Swaha Om Vyanaya Swaha Om Udanaya Swaha Om Samanaya Swaha Om Brahmane Swaha Om Am Sham Shakambhari Devye Namaha Naivedyam Nivedayami Tambulam Nivedayami Amritapaniyam Samarpayami Om Yopam Pushpam Veda Pushpavan Prajavahan Pashuman Bhavati Chandramava Apam Pushpam Pushpavan Prajavahan Pashuman Bhavati Ya Evam Veda Yopamayatanam Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati Rajadhirajaya Prasaya Sahine Namo Vayam Vahi Shravanaya Kurmahe Same kaman kama kama yahmahyam Kameshwaro Vaishravano Dadhatu Kuberaya Vaishravanaya Maharajaya Namaha Yo Vedado Swarah Prokto Vedante Cha Pratishtitaha Tasya Prakriti Linasya Yah Parasamaheshwaraha Narayanye Cha Vidmahe Shakambhare Cha Dhimahi Tatno Devi Prachodayate Om Am Sham Shakambhari Devi Namaha Om Bhurbhuvassuvaha Om Avahitabhyas Sarvabhyo Devatabhyo Namaha Vedokta Mantra Pushpanjalim Samarpayami Kale Varshantu Parjanyaha Prithive Sasya Sahitni Desho Hyam Kshobarahitaha Brahmana Sandhu Nirbhayaha Bhagavata Sandhu Nirbhayaha Sajjana Sandhu Nirbhayaha Sarvechana Sandhu Nirbhayaha Swaste Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahimahishaha Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Lokah Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu Aim Kara Hrim Kara Rahasya Yukta Shrim Kara Gudhartha Mahavibhutya Om Kara Marma Pradipadinibhyam Namo Namaha Shri Guru Padukabhyam Ajnana Nashanaya Vidmahe Jnana Prakashaya Dhimahi Tapno Guru Padukah Prachodayate Om Shatamanam Bhavati Shatayuh Purushashatendriya Ayushevendrihe Pratitishthati Om Sahatna Vavatu Sahatna Bhunakto Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Om Tat Sate Shri Devi Arpanamastu
We offer this Sangha freely. Remember to join Patreon, donate, volunteer, and spread the word about our upcoming move. Namaste.